Test Tank 17 is being removed from the Super Crusher test stand at Massey's. Booster 18 is removed from its transport stand at Sanchez. Meanwhile, Booster 19's test campaign finally begins with a rollout to Massey's for cryoproofing, and the foundations are ready for the new commodities tanks at the launch site. Hey, Jeff A here, and welcome to RGV Aerophotography Starbase Flyover update number 116. We welcome you all here to view another set of amazing images to keep you all up to date with the changes to the various sites in or around Starbase, Texas. The flight was conducted on January the 31st, again in cloudy, wintry weather. So sit back and enjoy the tour. As usual, let's start at the Massey's test facility. Here's our latest map from Proky to get your bearings around the site. 2 more triangular frame pieces have been added to the test structure at the static fire station. A small steel cage is now mounted to one of the previously installed parts. There are new brackets welded in place both near the top, and also down lower, roughly in line with the SQD. Attachment points are now mounted to the larger set of flat plates up on the top platform. Some of this new hardware has given rise to speculation that this stand could conduct multiple types of tests, including the squeeze test and possible ship-to-ship docking tests. Down on the approach ramp, the 2 triangle parts spotted last week have been moved closer. We can see 6 new 3-dimensional triangle parts assembled as well. At the water deluge tank area, the new tank has had even more plumbing added. In this week's image, we can see there are 2 parallel pumps in the skid, and some kind of a horizontal column to the side. The purpose of this system is still somewhat of a mystery. Some alterations can be seen on Test Tank 39.1. An SQD plate is attached to the tank and is mounted to a frame welded to the stand. A second drogue was also added this week. The tank underwent its 8th cryo test on the evening of January the 29th. In this wide shot, we can see that the crew have been busy getting B18.3 test tank ready for removal. All the rods have been removed and stacked nearby, with the area behind the tank being cleared of these 2 black shipping containers. Next, the cap was removed and placed nearby. The ship skirt section previously on top is now sitting near 39.1. They moved this recently refurbished stand to bolt the aft section down to. This bare barrel stand was rolled here from the build site and could indicate that the test tank will be cut into 2 sections for transport. Near the nose cone jail, the X-frame that has been sitting on site for a while has 2 H-beams welded to it. Looking back to the old can crusher stand, workers are preparing these matching areas for welding it in place. It appears that this stand will be conducting further tests. This ring is being welded together. It's still unclear where this piece fits, with all the new parts being manufactured. At the Super Crusher stand, all the tension rods and angled actuators are now detached from the 18.1 test tank, aka TT-17. The crusher cap was then removed on February the 2nd, once again thanks to Avid Space and Vix for this footage. Finally, at the front of the site, work is underway on conduit laying, possibly to install more Tesla megapacks. That's it for Massey's. Let's move over to Sanchez. Here's a labelled map to orient yourself around the Sanchez site. Starting with the stand fabrication area, things are very quiet this week with no changes to any of the transport stands. The 13-spoke factory stand is now complete. More Z-shaped parts were delivered this week. Moving to the interface ring, workers have removed the reinforcements seen last week. They were used to help with the welding operation. Black paint is being applied to the white frame structure. As time passes, more clues will appear on this structure's purpose. As we said last week, the popular speculation is that it will be a test rig for boosted grid fins. Next to the SPMT yard, pavement work is being performed on the intersection while crews are working the ground to install 4 megapacks. A temporary brace was installed on the black structure, likely for support while welding work is performed. Checking on the rocket garden, Booster 18's aft was removed from its transport stand and to the scrapyard area. Nearby, a black piece was spotted, with its purpose unclear. One speculation is that it could be related to vehicle movement. During the rollout of this booster transport stand, it was noted that the older style of adapters were not used. These new adapters are part of the recent upgrades to the stands. Looking at the second ship static fire stand, crews have installed both horizontal segments that provide support and stability while the ship is transported. A structure with 3 extensions is staged with an unclear purpose. Just before moving to the build site, we'd like to thank all of our YouTube and Patreon members. Remember, all the patrons get to participate in our show and tell sessions on the same day of each flight. Here you can join in the discussions and ask your own questions. YouTube members also get to watch and listen in with a live chat function. Starting at the Gigabay, the third level is nearing completion with only a small number of columns remaining in each corner. Along the Star Factory side, stair modules have been installed at the end of each partition wall from the ground to the second floor. In the left aisle, painting of the steel has begun. The tarp sections seen in the previous episode have shifted with this partition, now painted white. Things are quiet outside Megabay 1 this week. All the access platforms appear to be installed, but unfortunately the door was too low to capture any interior views. Booster 19 is still on the front left turntable during the flyover. On February 1st, it was transported to Massey's for crowd testing. Sean Giesler was roadside and caught this great clip of the booster making its way from Remedios Avenue onto Highway 4. Be sure to give him a follow on X. Megabay 2 is closed this week. Outside the door is one of the empty aft flap carts. Later in the day, Ship 40 made the first move in stacking operations. First, the Pez dispenser was taken to Megabay 2, followed by the stacked nose cone and payload bay. Thanks to Vix for compiling this clip from Avid Space. Behind the Star Factory, the two forward flats seen in recent flyovers have been taken back inside. At the apartment complex, the garage side facade continues to make progress. The mounting hardware for signs over the entrance can be seen installed. At the front, the upper parapet wall is also having panels installed. And at ground level, another segment of concrete was poured. To the front of the village, the concrete lot continues to be cleared for future development. That's it for the build site. Let's fly over to the launch site. Starting at the Pad 2 launch mount, the clamps have been retracted into the launch mount. Moving below, scaffolding is returned on the flame diverter. With the new launch pad getting close to testing with vehicles on the pad, visible activity in recent weeks has drastically slowed. New work can be seen on top of the second tower. It's unclear why, but the floor grating is being removed from both the lower and upper access areas. At the D1 entrance, the privacy wall concrete is finally complete. The footer is being backfilled and compacted prior to finishing the slab. Moving to the mega bunker, doors have been installed this week. The drive-in door has a barn door style with blast shield over the track. Just above and on the sides, additional pedestrian doors are also installed. The methane pump farm is complete again, with the pump motor reinstalled. At the end of the blast wall, the section that wraps around to the commodities trench is being formed to protect the pipes entering the trench. The complete set of LOX vaporizers are visible this week at the front of the tank farm. Nearby, the two containers with the Pad 1 water heaters have been removed. One of them was seen leaving the site in two pieces, suggesting the only way to get it out from behind some of the pipe racks was to cut it up. At the methane side of the tank farm, the new tank foundations and surrounding slab have been completed. Embeds can be seen for installation of 4 tanks. A fourth pump sled has joined the one seen at the last flyover. Additional pipe stands were delivered throughout the week. A total of 21 can be seen, as well as 6 extra foundation embeds. On February 2nd, the 2 tanks staged in the middle of the site were placed on their pedestals. Behind the Pad 1 tower, staging of trench materials continues. Joining the rebar cages for the CFA piles are stacks of sheet piles awaiting installation. Drilling of the CFA piles continues within the flame trench. The chopsticks have seen attention again this week, with both stabilizer arms removed. Finishing at the ASU site, the 5 modules seen staged are now installed on their foundations. One last major component remains to be installed. Seen here at the Port Connector Road storage lot is the main cold box. It was transported to the ASU in the early hours of the 2nd. Back at the site, the area behind the compressors is being backfilled with additional fill. Along the other side of the site, utility work continues. An additional water pipe is being assembled. 3 new electrical vaults have been placed with many conduits running toward the rest of the site. Well, that's it for episode 116 of Starbase Flyover Update. Thank you for choosing to fly with RGV Aerial Photography, and we hope you all enjoyed the flight. If you liked what you saw today, please subscribe for more episodes and content so you don't miss out on the new videos each week. To receive the latest images and to join in the conversations on the day they are taken, please consider joining RGV's Patreon. I'm Jeff A, and we'll see you next week from 6,000 feet.